All right, y'all. So today we are going to be looking at Super Saiyan Son Goku here in Gekishin Squadra. I said his full legal name, but I was just reading it off here. Anyways, we're going to be talking about how good this guy is because he's absolutely insane. I mean, in my opinion, he might just be the best character in the game. If not, at the bare minimum, the best attacker. I think for sure he's absolutely busted and realistically should get nerfed, but we're going to be talking about how you should play him, at least how he is in season 0, and my personal recommendations for even divine draw cards, what skills you should level up and things like that. But if you guys are enjoying the game, let me know in the comment section below as well. And we're going to start off by breaking down his kits, talking about where he succeeds and where maybe he could be a little tricky, and we'll just hop right into it. But hope y'all enjoyed the video. So first, we're going to be breaking down Super Saiyan Goku's kit. Of course, he has a Super Saiyan transformation. You could get this at level 7. Base HP, attack, and then damage dealt by Violent Rage all goes up. So just a general power up, and they did buff the damage that all transformations do across the board. So Goku post transformation is even stronger right now than he was in the network test. And this guy is crazy powerful once he gets Super Saiyan, but it is quite important to go ahead and get to level 7. So again, as most characters do, you want to prioritize farming mobs around the map and things like that, just to make sure you have the level advantage. Level advantages in this game are very important. Even going in a fight against someone who's 1 XP level above you can make a huge difference. So Goku, again, having a transformation is basically a get out of jail free card. When you transform, you heal up, you just get stronger, and you push the enemies back, and you are invincible when you actually are transforming. So with that in mind, you just want to make sure you use this to your most advantage state, especially because you could prevent yourself from having to go and like heal at the God of Destructions, or worst case scenario at the very end of the map where the dragon show is. You want to prevent that as much as possible, just so you could stay in midfield and keep farming mobs. So if you are getting like ganged up on, or you're in the middle of a fight, just use this to your advantage and don't necessarily transform instantly. I would only really transform and use this if like you're really winning, and let's say you're like level 9 at that point, or level 8, more so like level 9 I would say, and it's like, okay, well at this point it's like the end of the game, I'm gonna transform just so I can make sure I can get that damage and wipe with something like the Spirit Bomb, which we'll talk about later. But that's generally how I utilize this transformation, with not only just get this guy but just any character, right? His passive skill is Violent Rage. Again, wasn't mentioned a little bit in the Super Saiyan transformation here, but it grants increased strength against target of anger. So it does target enemy heroes who have KO'd a nearby hero. It does increase damage dealt to the target and makes them findable, even if outside the field of view. So this is pretty good, getting just a higher view and locking onto the target right there. It's quite good for Goku, who is a major damage dealer. So especially if you're gonna in a 2v2 and one of the allies knock out, let's say you're with Krillin or whoever it is, Goku will just have the ability to kind of wipe them out himself, especially if he has his skills up, and basically very easily confirm kills, I think, with the increased strength plus his just general damage, right? So I think that can help you in certain situations. I personally sometimes forget this is a thing when I'm using Goku, because I mean, I usually don't I usually go into a 4 stack or a 2 stack, so we kind of maneuver things around and don't really push too hard to where we might need to get in this situation. When it does happen, I think it can be useful to you, and just making sure you're able to lock onto that target is pretty good. So I think this is definitely nice. So physical attack, just basic, nothing really too crazy there. I mean, Goku, funny enough, plays more like a longer range character. I would say you kind of want to poke around with Goku. So this is nice for when you're actually engaging at times, but realistically Goku's really good at staying a little far back and then rushing in. So this physical attack is kind of just like a basic thing. It doesn't do anything special. So His first skill is the Kamehameha. Of course, it'll launch an energy wave in a set direction, then use while Kaioken is active to increase the AoE damage zone and apply a movement speed down debuff to the enemy. Keep in mind, this is actually worded wrong, and I think a lot of people don't know this. It's the same with the Meteor Hammer. It says use while Kaioken is active, but what you do is you actually use Kaioken after to burst it, because as you see right here, it shows in this example where I was actually going to go in training mode and show, but you actually have to activate Kaioken after you use the skill, not during it. So it's kind of worded weirdly. I kind of get what they mean, because when Kaioken is activated, it does the big burst, but that's only after you activate the skill, right? So a lot of people actually don't know that, and then they actually lose out on a big DPS burst because of it. You want to make sure you do it like exactly this video does show. And I don't know if it shows this with the Meteor Hammer as well, but yeah, it does show it again. You want to use it after, right? And again, I think it's a generally good ability, just like could get a really huge range, but I think, you know, level 1 is like kind of like nice for confirming kills against, you know, Supreme Kais and things like that. But really, once this gets to like level 3 is when it starts getting disgusting. It makes it very hard for enemies to run around, especially if you burst Kaioken with it. It's just a huge field that it covers, man, and the range is absolutely insane. This Kamehameha is really powerful once you get it maxed out. Meteor Hammer might be Goku's best skill. I would say, in my opinion, it is Goku's best of the 3 in general. You are able to, again, rush out with a good amount of range, honestly, even at level 1, to strike down with, you know, your fists. And then if used while Kaioken is active, you actually generate a shockwave, which will deal additional damage and stagger the enemy that is shocked. So this is really good for having and helping confirm kills. And what you could do a lot of times is you do Meteor Hammer, then you shock them with Kaioken, and then after use the Kamehameha, and that's a huge amount of burst damage in such a short amount of time. Meteor Hammer is also really good for escaping. So if you're running away and you might not have your vanish available and the enemy's really close at catching you, you can actually use the Meteor Hammer because of its long range to escape. So let's say again, you're getting like your Goku right here where the cursor is, you're escaping this way, and then Vegeta's right behind you. You just use the Meteor Hammer, you can go all the way like around here and just kind of have a better chance at escaping. Really good mobility Goku has with this move, and it could do some really just good burst damage as well. Then finally we have, of course, the Kaioken. This is really important for Goku to have, but I would say compared to the other two, it's the one that I personally level up like kind of the latest. I think it's important to get all 3 of them active, but I would go Meteor Hammer, then Kamehameha, then Kaioken after, because of how powerful you know, Meteor Hammer is just in general. Kamehameha gets, like, you kind of want to make sure you get that leveled up just because of the range increase. And then Kaioken's always gonna give like really good boost, I feel like, no matter when it's like level 1, 2, 3. Now what happens is you get strike attack up, defense up, and movement speed up to self. You combine it with a super attack to increase the effectiveness. Then again, if you combine it with another skill to increase that skill's effectiveness, you will apply strike attack up and all defense up again, so you just get extra buffs there. And then if another skill that hits, excluding Kaioken, the skill's cooldown is reduced. So the thing about Kaioken that's really stupid, and I think that is completely unfair, is that you could spam Kaioken. Like, you could absolutely spam it, because firstly, there's no disadvantage to using Kaioken. It has a really short cooldown, especially because when you actually use a skill, it is reduced. And I'll go ahead in training mode and show that. But again, what you could do is, again, like I said, Meteor Hammer, you burst it with Kaioken, then you do your Kamehameha, then your skill down for Kamehameha goes down, or a skill down, your skill cooldown goes down, and then you could burst it with Kaioken again when you're like higher level, and it just does so much damage. In fact, I'm literally gonna hop over to training and show you guys exactly what I mean. One thing I'm mentioning about Kaioken that I should have mentioned when I was covering this skill initially is that it gives a huge speed increase when you use this. So we take a look here, we're just flying around normally. Then look at this little boost. It's like really, really good. Now, when you use this, of course, it doesn't actually restore your cooldown unless you hit someone with the skill. But still, like the amount of speed boost that you get from going around the map is really insane. Like, look at this. Like the amount of coverage you could have for this, it's really good at escaping. And you know, again, like we talked about, let's say you're just like running away from an enemy. Let's just wait for the school to come back one more time. You're running away from an enemy, then we could do this, and then we could do this right here, and then we just like made a huge amount of distance in a short amount of time, unless they do like some vanish step, or you know, have like another really far away like kind of teleporting move, like, you know, maybe Trunks or something like that. It's gonna be a bit difficult for them to kind of catch up with you. So that's where it could just be super useful. Again, we could do this, and then we could vanish, and then we could just like do that, right? I kind of could have done that better, but you guys kind of get the point. Like Goku has a lot of evasive kind of tech, which allows him to kind of move around the map and poke around and things like that. So I just wanted to point that out for Kaioken specifically. All right, so we're here in training mode. I did basically just level 11 this, and we have maxed out Kamehameha, maxed out Meteor Hammer, and then, you know, Spirit Bomb maxed out again. Level 1 Kaioken. Usually, again, I'm not really focusing Kaioken too much personally, but I do have all attack cards right here. So just like Snowball is not going to have any stacks here. The Prepare to Die, and then Pursuer is actually another great card with Goku as well. Like if you're kind of focusing on tanks, Giant Slayer is really good as well. But again, we'll go more in depth about the actual divine card combos I recommend later on. But again, just to show you guys an example, again, here's like the range for the Meteor Hammer here, and then here's like the range for the Kamehameha. Pretty good just overall, but actually I have to wait for the cooldown for the Kamehameha to go down. You see again right there, when it's like not maxed out, you can see the cooldown is a little high, but I want to show you all the example of, okay, once you use it after landing a skill, you actually get the cooldown down. So we're gonna do this, here's the Kamehameha, and you see I can use that again. And look at the amount of damage I do to Super Saiyan Vegeta just by myself. This is like a level 11 Super Saiyan Vegeta, which is quite crazy that you're basically, again, with spamming all these skills, you're almost able to one-shot this guy, and he's a tank character. I mean, Vegeta right here doesn't have any divine card combos, I believe. You're not actually able to select this, unfortunately, in the training right here. But, you know, let's say we are level 13, just to be a little different, and let's get Kaioken maxed out as well. Let's actually also increase Vegeta. Let's say Vegeta is like level 14. Let's say like for some reason Vegeta is like got mega levels and he's just way ahead of you there. Well, we're still able to do quite a lot of damage here. So again, here's the same example. And then I actually messed up real quickly. Let me. So again, we'll do it right here. So again, we'll do this, Kaioken, Kamehameha, then burst again. And look at that damage we're doing. Even though we have like a level disadvantage, we got over 2/3 of this guy's health out of the way, which is really, really nasty for these skills, right? Again, it's very easy to go ahead and just focus on these two as well. As long as you only have one burst of Kaioken, it is overall like not going to be the biggest deal because you have the cooldown down, which is such a stupid ability that you have that like cooldown, of course, lowered as well. And then near the end of the match, you can focus on this. But yeah, for sure, you want to focus on the other three more than this. You just want to make sure you have at least one, like earlier on, just so that you are able to burst these two, and it just leads to so much extra DPS. And again, we are running cards like, you know, Giant Slayer. If we run like Prepare to Die, we can get a little bit of a different like boost. And keep in mind, again, we're also have like no snowball stacks here at all. So you see there's a little bit of difference in damage without Giant Slayer, but still it's pretty good altogether. So just felt like showing that. Now, of course, the last move is the Kamehameha. Am I stupid? The Spirit Bomb, duh. Now, this Spirit Bomb at max level is the most like insane like thing ever. It is arguably the best ult in the game. I see, you know, there's definitely discussion for other ultimates. Like I think Coolers is really good, things like that. But this guy is just like super quick, super easy, and it's very easy to get a team wipe with this. If I do, I should have a clip kind of showing that. where, you know, either if it's from Aizen or someone else or myself, like a clip of just team wiping the enemy team with this. It's so easy to do when you're like, again, defending the god of destruction, like all four of them, like let's say all four of your enemy heroes are there at your god of destruction and they're trying to snipe, or if they're trying to snipe one of the objectives like Ribrianne, like Jacko, like at near the end of the fight, this spirit bomb can catch them all because it has such a wide range, and on top of that, it's able to kind of get the objective. But I think this could really be good for confirming a team wipe. Now, what happens when you KO all four of your enemies at the same time is you get both Zenos for a period of time, and all of them are dead. At the end of fights, this is just a game-winning like thing. Like you just win when that happens because everyone's gone for like 30 seconds. You have both Zenos, and you just do so much damage to the towers in that time frame. It's like this spirit bomb is really crazy. I wouldn't really use the spirit bomb though until it's like higher leveled, and I will actually show you guys again here why. All right, just to show the differences between the spirit bomb levels. So this would be level 1 right here. Again, not really much range. It's very small. It's very easy for enemies to escape this. Literally just a vanishing step. If you even have to do it, it's super easy to kind of move around, and it's not like the fastest at level 1. You can see it takes a little bit of time to actually go down, but once this is leveled up, it does increase in the speed that it actually launches out. So again, we'll actually get this to level 2 right here that we're able to see in the bottom, and at level 2 we see the range is a decent amount bigger. I don't think it's like a mega crazy increase. It's about like what, probably 2 times larger the radius it's at, and it will do some extra damage, of course. Like if you need to use it to confirm a kill, I would say against one of the like objectives, like again we're talking about Ribrianne, Jacko, even like, you know, Nappa and 16 earlier on, I could see this being a really huge helpful tool for you just to make sure you snipe that, because getting those objectives will be very important throughout the match. You want to go ahead and make sure you focus on that. But again, it's really OP once you get to the final levels here with the spirit bomb, because look how big this is. This is actually like this. I think this is over twice the amount of range that the other one was. But look how large of a screen this covers. And let's say they're all fighting your god of destruction here. Oh, I could just stand back all the way from here and cover everything. And it's like, oh, they're all fighting my god of destruction. Well, actually, I hate you. And then I'm gonna team wipe all 4 of you because I can. It just stopped. It's really stupid of an ability, right? Now that we covered all the skills, we'll talk about a little more on what kind of you focus on. And again, just to reconfirm, as I stated in each section, I would go for Meteor Hammer first in most situations, then Kamehameha, then Kaioken, and whenever you have the option, always focus on Spirit Bomb. You need this at max level 3 as soon as possible. Like again, we see level 5, level 8, level 11. At these levels specifically, you need to make sure you max this out. Like getting to level 11 with Goku is a huge game changer, man. Like it is actually really crazy getting to level 11 like that. So that is gonna be quite important for you. And again, like I said, Kaioken is the quote-unquote least important. It's still very good, and once you're able to get a second Kaioken proc, like, because when this is leveled up enough, you're actually able to use this twice. This, you know, could be, again, very useful for just kind of escaping and moving around the map in a short amount of time. I mean, sometimes this guy during the Kaioken activation window is faster than even some technical characters. You could also use it to rush down enemies, right? Which is also really good. But a lot of times I may use this as kind of just moving around the map, and like you could choose to do what you want from there. But yeah, overall, Goku just has a very strong kit. There's like nothing like that's bad here. Like everything is good. Everything feeds into each other. There's no like, oh, you know, in certain situations this might not be good. Oh, in certain situations I can't even talk. Situations this might not be good. Like at best, it's like Kamehameha early on has like a little like window that you really have to aim and hit, but I don't think that's like the biggest deal in the world, really. I would also say, you know, if you have Super Start as one of the divine card draws, Super Start, again, we could actually take a look here, is one of the divine draws, allows you to get your skill damage just instantly unlocked. This, you go Kamehameha first. I think that's the only time you do that, because Kamehameha level 3 is just too insane. You just need that instantly. And then after you go Meteor Hammer, then Spirit Bomb. Well, actually, technically Spirit Bomb is the priority, then Meteor Hammer, then Kamehameha, depending on which one is available. There's also this that can happen sometimes. I think there's just an extra perk. If you want to go Kamehameha first, you can. I still would like to generally focus on Meteor Hammer just because of, I think it will help you in a little more situations than this one. Like, again, moving around the map, escaping, etc. But I could very much see like someone going for Kamehameha instead. It really depends on what's going on in the match and what you're looking for, how your play style is with Super Saiyan Goku, right? But again, this guy's just generally easy to use, and as long as you're not like always rushing in and always fighting the enemy and like, you know, always starting and being super aggro, you kind of again want to, because of these moves having so much range to them, you kind of want to poke around. You don't want to directly engage in certain situations. Like, this is not like a character like Deborah who really benefits off like directly engaging with the enemy with his petrification gates and things like that. This guy's able to just kind of sit back a little because, again, the range of his attacks are so dumb. And, you know, this guy's also really good for farming mobs with this Meteor Hammer as well, which is why I really like getting this. Because, like, let's say you're in bottom lane with Goku, all the Cell Juniors around here, you can just kind of get them all at once, essentially. Or even at the top, it's also very easy to get a lot of these mobs all at once once you get Meteor Hammer going. And you're able to just steal that farm from the enemy, preventing them from leveling up and keeping yourself from leveling up, keeping that snowball up. That's really good. So that's kind of just his skills in general. And I think next we'll talk about the divine draw cards. All right, so we're going to be looking at the divine combo cards now, and keep in mind this is on the home screen, so if you hear Goku crashing out now and then, he's just on the home screen. He does that. It's okay. It's Goku, right? So in terms of cards that I think could be really good with him, pretty much either one of these two are the ones I always pick. Goku, again, is quite good at confirming kills, as like, in my opinion, the best attacker in the game. Super Snowball is very good. Even just getting an assist on an enemy hero with, you know, a good teammate, or if you're really pairing in tandem with whoever you're, you know, with. I mean, sometimes I lane with like a technical Krillin, and Krillin sometimes is like better than at confirming kills, where, okay, you know, with this assist and when you build this up, I think Goku could get this up really quickly and consistently keep it. And even though the attack power increases loss if you're KO'd, like I said, Goku has tons and tons of movement options to help avoid that. In situations, if you're playing things smartly and you're kind of watching out, not rushing in or overextending, you're going to pretty easily be able to keep this snowball stack if you get the ball rolling. And I think it is just overall going to be very, very good. This one could be good as well. Again, like I said, after you use a vanishing step, it will deal additional damage. This is really good, you know, especially if someone is trying to run and then you vanish step and you catch up with them as like an offensive way to kind of use it. That could be very effective, especially if you pair it in tandem with this limit breaking jump here. I think that's just good on every character. Vanishing step isn't cooldown, you could use it a second time. So just in case, okay, use this, then you have to escape, you'll have this in your back pocket. Or sometimes I do a cheeky double vanish and just like obliterate the enemy. It's situational, but you know, I think either one of these kind of really play to your advantage. I would say the rest of them, I don't like. These three I just would never choose on Goku. This one I would also like not choose on him. It's pretty much just these first two attacker cards. For the second card here, I think there are different options you can have. For Goku, again, I usually lean towards the offensive ones. I think you could also, though, use this on many different characters. It's like a kind of fail-safe card where if you're really in trouble, you don't take damage. If you don't take damage from enemy heroes for 10 seconds, you get a barrier that will greatly reduce the damage from enemy heroes. A lot of people would argue that, you know, I've seen a lot of people say, at least, you know, in replies to me, that they don't even really necessarily like the attack cards that much generally, like compared to what this is, because these are both conditional. You want to hit an enemy hero with 80% or more HP to actually activate the Giant Slayer here, which again is really good for tanks, or killing tanks. And then this right here is the one I personally choose. It'll boost damage on the enemy hero until the end of the confrontation. You just have to hit an enemy hero with 50% or less HP once. I find this pretty easy to get with Goku, honestly, because Goku does a lot of burst damage anyways. And like I said, confirming kills with him is very straightforward to do with him. So when an attack hits an enemy hero with 50% or less HP, getting the extra damage is really great. And if they do survive more than 2 seconds, it's even more damage on top of that. I really personally like this one on him, but I could see like these three kind of being the choices depending on the situation. Like if you're laning against a Super Saiyan Vegeta or a Cooler and they're being very aggressive, you could definitely take this to your advantage. Or this could also be good if what's it called, you are like Spirit Bomb nuking, I guess, right? This could also be very cool to kind of just utilize, but I would never choose these three personally for them. I mean, like if you're choosing a defensive card for Goku, I would go with this one, because since he has a lot of mobility, if he does get caught, he'll still be able to escape decently easily. And then for the final ones, I mean, I usually go with this one as well, the limit breaking jump. I think this is just a good card to have just across any characters. I think most of the time I do end up picking this one. However, in a lot of situations, Goku is one of the characters that could really benefit from Pursuer. So I talked about what you do with Goku for the most part, and that is using skill 2 into skill 3 Kaioken. And that activates the activation condition. If you land an attack on an enemy hero with 2 skills within 2 seconds, you gain this buff. This gives you additional energy damage to the target and then boosts your speed for 7.5 seconds when heading towards the target. So I did use this card earlier when I was attacking Vegeta, you know, at equal level, and we did get him under 50% HP very easily. This card right here, again, is super easy to utilize with Goku because you usually use skill into Kaioken, and then you get this. So it does boost your speed as well. So if you're chasing them down, you just chase them down like super easily, especially again if you use a Kaioken burst. It's crazy. And on top of this, the additional energy damage, if you use the Meteor Smash into Kaioken, the last skills you have would be Spirit Bomb, which is an energy skill, or Kamehameha, which is also an energy skill. So they will do additional damage to that target, and that's where it's like Goku could really utilize this quite a bit, this Pursuer card. For the most part though, I guess you could use this as well in like very certain situations. If you're just like a huge backstab fan, you're like, oh yeah, I love this card, sure, but I would say no. Like it's like if you're just like the backstab fan god, right? You know, but most of the times I wouldn't. Limit breaking jump, again, I think between these two is what I usually do. Rush damage for Goku, I think a lot of his damage comes from this, so I like these two personally. And like I said, Goku is more of a kind of poking character rather than a character that is like doing a lot of too many rush attacks, right? I mean, it's fine, right? But I would say between these two for sure. So that's my personal recommendations for divine combo cards for Goku. And keep in mind, again, you will basically have a little bit of a skill cooldown by using this because of the actual effects you get from the divine combo cards, which a lot of people don't realize are actually so in game. So for example, every time you pick an attack card, you actually get a little bit of an attack increase. So having like these two, and then this one will give you a decent-ish, like an okay attack increase and a very slight skill cooldown decrease. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. I think the actual effects of the cards are way more important, but if you go triple attack, that is a decent actually boost to your attack where you could actually, I think, have value out of that. You really only see mega value if you like, I think, pick all three of them, like go a rainbow setup, or you go like all in on one type of card. But these are just my general recommendations for Goku, depending on, you know, how you might feel. Like if you feel like you're getting caught a lot with Super Saiyan Goku and you're kind of learning things around, solid barrier will always be just like a little nice option there. But yeah, lightning swift as well, you could take advantage of it too. So yeah. So I hope this guide helps you start off with using Super Saiyan Goku and being able to succeed in matches. In the comment section below, I'm actually going to leave the link to 2 different channels. One, I'm going to leave the link to EisenDB. Eisen was the previous rank 1 player, and you know, I've talked with them a bunch about Gekishin, and he's helped me gain a better understanding of the game. I would recommend checking him out. He's making content right now, and that guy is cracked, man. Right now, I'm like, I would say I'm like overall on the good side of the game, but this guy is cracked. Like, I'm like a 7, and he's like a 10.5. Like, that guy's crazy stupid. And then I'm also gonna leave in the comment section, or at the comment section, the description, Mike as well. Your boy Mike plays a really nasty Goku. I've seen that guy get like 400k range damage games with Goku. I've done pretty good with Goku, but he's not my main attacker, so I'm not like cracked with him. But at the end, I'm gonna leave a match where I did about like, I think 250k damage. I did really good there, and just generally shows you what you're aiming to do with Goku, from my point of view as him. So I hope this helps you guys. Appreciate y'all for watching, and of course I'll catch you guys in the next video. So at first I was gonna just leave the raw gameplay, but I decided to record audio just so you guys know what exactly I'm doing, in case you have any questions. Also, you can let me know in the comment section below. This is a pretty good match. I mean, we did get Superstart and the skill level 1 boost, so that's really powerful in general, especially for Goku. But still, I think that this is a match that generally shows what you do with him in a very, very good way, at least how I play him. And you know, I got a ton of wins in a row here, so yeah. Either way, let's go ahead and just talk about it. So I'm going bottom lane. Goku can go either bottom or top lane depending on what you need. Bottom lane with Vegeta is pretty good because Vegeta is able to grab all those mobs that are spread out a little. But here we are again, just using the Kamehameha instantly. I think when it comes to Super Start, like I said earlier, Kamehameha is the way to just go. You're able to get Meteor Smash back very quickly anyways. And then once you get to level 3, you'll be able to actually unlock Kaioken. So you see, now I have all 3 skills, and we're looking very strong for the start already. And again, we're just going around. As long as you hit the mob once, you will do the damage or get the XP as long as you guys kill it. So again, we had a pretty huge advantage compared to the others. And again, I'm kind of like staying a little far back. I'm not rushing in. If I rush in, I could very easily die, especially with Deborah right here. Deborah is a character that just, it makes it very dangerous to kind of go one-on-one here. As much as you can, you want to avoid going one-on-one with Deborah. I was only waiting for my Vegeta teammate to be able to pull them back for me, and unfortunately he died, but I think he did do overall the job the tank was meant to do, right? And now I can protect lane a little easier, or at least our tower, before anything. Right here, I went to attack our mob that was right there just because I didn't want to push in and then potentially die. Deborah right here overextended, so I was able to kill him before he can get his petrification on me. And now I grab Snowball so that when we kill this guy, I think we could chase him down here since there's not too many mobs here anyways. It's just a good idea to get him out of the way. So now mid is completely open for us to take all these mobs, so we're just killing all the Cell Juniors, getting all this XP, and we already have, at least I already have a 2-level lead. Taka right there has a 4-level lead, or like it's the same level normally. I just have been farming mobs. I'm just like really focused on that. I'm not even like worried about getting their tower just yet. I want to make sure that we get the Supreme Kai so that they don't potentially get any way to catch up. And I went over there to help push them back a little, but in reality, again, want to get away as soon as possible. I used Meteor Smash right there to help close my distance a little further. I see Vegeta was helping out a little, so I just did some damage to the Supreme Kai so that when Vegeta would potentially attack them, he would be able to take care of it for us, but unfortunately didn't really happen. I believe they took our farm right there. I got the barrier just because I felt like this Deborah is especially going to be a little like pushy and aggressive, so I wanted to make sure that, hey, I what's it called, just have that as a protection. Now we also do have the nap under 16 right here, which is why I went up, because I switched over and I communicated with the ally gammas to just switch over with me for just a second, so I could go ahead and make sure I get Nappa up there. I keep saying Nappa, I'm stupid as hell. Android 16, which we did successfully get it. And like I said, I used the Spirit Bomb right there just to make sure that I'm able to just snipe it and make sure they have no opportunity to do so. So that's why I felt it was a smart thing to do. Because when you get all three, or at least when you get three a triple KO of those like bosses around there, you are able to do really well. Right here, I was like, let's push, honestly. The Zeno is right here on their side, so they actually can't heal, and that would help. Now that we're like a few minutes into the match, see the board, it's taken them already 10 seconds to come back. So whenever these mobs come around here, we're able to just pretty freely get them. I made a mistake right there, though, unfortunately. I shouldn't have Mega Push. To be fair, I thought it would have only been Vegeta, but Krillin actually came down to help. So that was a bit unfortunate. But again, that's where it's like, sometimes you don't always overextend sometimes. I should have there played smarter and actually went back to get the mobs, just so I can make sure I level up and also protect the God of Destruction just in case Vegeta goes. But since I overextended, they got quite a bit of damage on our God, so that is just a little bit unfortunate. Either way, I'm like, okay, let's just move around here. I was trying to just assess the situation. Vegeta right there is level 8, so he's around equal level to us. My Vegeta is lower leveled, so I'm like, okay, let's just make sure we get everything. I would have tried to save the Supreme Kai for him, but I saw that Vegeta there, and I was like, that's gonna be a little dangerous if I just let him kind of potentially take it with his Photon Bomb or whatever he uses. So let's just do this. And again, right here, I actually calmed Krillin to come down to help us take Nappa. And what I think is really smart to do is you usually want to essentially wait for not your cycle to go through. Oh no, wait, that was a terrible Spirit Bomb, actually. I thought Vegeta would have pushed the Photon Bomber there, but this didn't have the opportunity. But as I was saying, you want to wait for the opportunity. Let me actually pause this so I could talk about what I'm doing here first. You want to wait until you see back here when we're attacking Nappa, the Zeno was on their side, and then the Zeno was on our side on top. More situations than not, you might want it to be the opposite way, I feel like, because okay, you could get the farm down here, and then someone at top can like, you know, not have to worry about farming, because it's like, okay, well, worst case scenario, we have 3 people down here, which usually you do want to call someone from either lane up or down, I found, to make sure you are able to secure these guys, because again, once you KO 3 of them, you get both Zenos, which is really huge. And what I usually do is actually, either way I think could work, because if the Zeno's right here, you could protect it, but at the same time, it probably is better for it to do it like this, which is why we did it this way, because we could have one person protect up at top, and usually it's not too hard to kind of push people back from the God of Destruction because there's a barrier, so you can kind of sit back a little, especially with like more ranged characters. And secondly, you know, they might want to make sure that their God of Destruction is protected. So I think it's kind of like a little, like a mind play right there with that in mind. Well, if, you know, 3 of us were down here and then the Zeno was right there, someone would probably be able to go and sneak it or do some chip damage in this situation. Because even if you get hit with doing a Gekishin burst, you still will do some chip damage, which can actually kill the God of Destruction still. So that's why you want to be really careful. But that was the idea there. I didn't even have to use a Spirit Bomb here, to be fair. So I'm going to use the Spirit Bomb right here. I was like, you know what? I would have used a Spirit Bomb anyways against it. And I thought they would have stayed still because of Vegeta's Photon Bomber. But they both used their Vanish, which I think is also helpful. Now, you see right here, something I did that many people may not actually be aware of, especially like if you're, you know, fighting someone like Deborah and, you know, you're like Goku, who's more like far range. You see the bar right here, I saved my Vanish skill, and I actually lose some of the petrification. If you use your Vanish skill, you lose some of the petrification with Deborah, which, you know, you want to time it properly just so that you are able to get a huge push there. I waited for my skills to come back so that I could actually just wipe Deborah out. Like I said, Goku's really good at doing that. Vegeta versus Vegeta is kind of like stalematey, honestly, and my Vegeta has a decent amount of HP, so I felt he would be pretty safe there, being able to like push that guy back while I go back and heal. And by the way, I would also say the mobs in the middle right here, you don't want to necessarily like farm them too much, like especially like from back here. That one that's like very close by is like fine because they're still very squishy, but like back here, unless you're killed and you really need like the levels, try to avoid that, because the ones in the middle are the ones like you're kind of leaving them open to be able to grab that. I saw that Goku at top killed the Gamma, so that's why I pushed up. And I was level 9 at this point. I feel like I should just transform to make sure we get the damage. I messed up an open free camera right there, which sucked. And I also missed the Kamehameha. Huge misplay right there. This Goku, I don't know. He was kind of just like doing his thing. But again, he used a Spirit Bomb as well. Luckily, my double vanish came in clutch right there. And because of the double vanish card, I was able to get out of that Spirit Bomb. And with that in mind, I was able to just finish them off, right? And now I'm level 10. I am pretty highly leveled compared to, you know, the bottom laners, which was the Deborah and the Vegeta. I think, you know, both DPSs are only level 8. I'm level 10. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just start getting Ribrianne down. Vegeta came up. I was like, let me just chill for a bit and range out since Vegeta's around. And just make sure, you know, I just like push in every here and there, get the Kamehameha in. I threw the Spirit Bomb right here a little too early. This could have cost us Ribrianne, but luckily we did get it, and we just kind of all ulted in that spot. Right there, I would have waited a little, I should have waited a little longer to make sure I did get the guaranteed kill with the Spirit Bomb. That was one mistake and a little bit of a misplay, but it's really, like, we still got it anyway, so we're cooking, right? Krillin's mines were a little bit annoying here, and he blinded me a little, so it was like very tough to kind of realize where he was. Right here, I'm like, I'm too low HP. I gotta push back. We still have both Zenos. It's not like they can get an advantage anyways like that. So let me just make sure I heal before I push in and get myself killed, right? You don't want that to happen, especially at this time of the match. Not only do I have 3 stacks of snowball up, which, you know, just increases my damage so much, I also did have that was really funny, but I'll show that in a second. I also just didn't want to not only lose those but just die at this point. If you die, you're gone for like 25 seconds. It's like a huge amount. So okay, if this lets me play it right here, we see Vegeta. I kind of could tell where he was, even though I got blinded by Krillin. I was like, okay, I generally see where he was, and I sniped him with the Kamehameha and Kaioken burst. Really, really good. And then I saw that there was I believe it was Goku up there, and he kind of just like went away, which is fine, you know. Let him go. Honestly, again, sometimes don't want to chase. If they're running away, let them run away, especially for farming in mid. You want to make sure that you're able to take advantage of that. I also aimed the Kamehameha wrong right there because I'm stupid, I guess, you know. Like I said, I'm not perfect. But okay, again, still a huge level advantage. I decided, okay, I want to make sure I get to level 11 just real quick here. Then we get the final Spirit Bomb upgrade, because I saw that we were about to be able to go get Jacko here. And I was like, we should get Jacko, but then I realized it's not really the biggest deal to get him. But we still pushed anyways, just because it would do a little bit of extra damage to the God of Destruction. And especially because if he got top tower, we would be very close to killing it, which I think he does go top tower, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so like we did a good amount of damage to the top tower right there, basically half of the HP that remains. And at that point, they could chip damage the tower into killing it. I actually recalled because I saw Goku was attacking our tower. This was also not really the best move in general because Goku ended up killing it anyways. I should have just let him have it there and kept pushing with my allies, because at this point I kind of just wasted time. So now all we had to do was secure bottom and we're good. Goku's up there, but I saw the Gammas were kind of able to handle it, and at this point they have to take down 2 towers. We only need to take down 1 tower. I think it was a worthy push to go ahead and do. Deborah almost got me there, but luckily I had my ally. There's so much blind going on with Krillin. Krillin plus Deborah could be very nasty because of the blind right there. funny enough, Goku was actually able to finish things off, but we're all right here. So while it was a little bit close, we did get the win. Again, that was almost like almost oh, that got a lot closer because I made one or two mistakes near the end, I think. And realistically, maybe it would have been smarter for one of our tanks to go up and help take care of Goku, or maybe even me myself, and leave the other two to kind of move around. But either way, we did pretty good. We cooked here. Krillin got MVP, by the way, because Annie, I was playing with Annie, named Gogeta in here. Cracked player, dude. That guy is so good. But yeah, anyways, here's 250k damage inflicted, which, you know, you can get a lot higher than that. I could have cooked a lot better, especially if I didn't recall. I could have done way more damage. I believe at the end, my spirit bomb was almost available too. So if this match did last a little longer, there is the potential for like a team wipe with the spirit bomb, which again, like let's say it was a situation like this. This is like a situation where Spirit Bomb would be huge. Like, if I threw Spirit Bomb here, Goku, or I say Goku, what the hell? Deborah, and then I believe this is Krillin right here, they'd be cooked, right? And let's say if I was defending as Goku here and like all four of them right here, this space basically fills the entire like Spirit Bomb area. And especially if they're in the middle right here, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to escape. Just wanted to kind of just show that there. But yeah, and again, I was just playing Goku a bunch of times, and Kale was getting a bunch of wins with the team. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope this helps you guys out. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.